All right, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome. We are going to get right into it. So go ahead. Let's just start in a seat. So if you want to sit yourself up on a block or anything like that, you have that option, or even a pillow or a blanket, something. A blanket would be good to help protect your knees later on if your knees get a little bit sensitive. So, all right, let's just go ahead and rest those hands on the knees, closing down those eyes, and just starting to take a few breaths in and out through the nose. Just natural breaths. And we'll start to make those breaths just a little bit bigger. So really expanding through that rib cage. And exhaling all of that breath out. We're going to flex those abs to press all the air out. We're going to keep that core tight. As you take that big breath in through the nose. So when that core stays tight, you'll feel an even bigger expansion through that rib cage. And then press all that breath out. And keeping that core tight. Really forceful on that inhale. And then pressing that breath out on that exhale. So just hearing that sound of the breath. Let's reach those arms out to this side. Reach those arms up. And then we'll take a nice side stretch over to your right side. So put a little bit more pressure into that left hip so it doesn't lift. As we reach through those left fingertips, really straight through that arm. Then inhale it back up. Let's go to the other side. So we'll reach that right arm up first, and then find that side bend over. So really reach through those fingertips. And inhale it back up. Let's go 2 more times on those side bends. So reaching that left arm up and over. Inhale it back up and over to the other side. Inhale it back up 1 more time, each way. Inhale, bring it back up. Last time over. And bring it back up. Now let's just find that gentle twist over to the right side. Sitting tall on that inhale. Exhale a little deeper into that twist. Bring it back to center, reach the arms up, and exhale it to the other side. Again, sit tall on that inhale. Exhale, gazing over that shoulder as we twist. Good, bring it back to center. Let's make our way onto those hands and knees. Let's just do a few rounds of cat-cow, getting that core, that spine nice and warm. So on that inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest, lift the tailbone as we look up. Exhale, round the spine, press the shoulder blades away. Draw that belly up and in. And inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest, lift the tailbone as we look up. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, round. And now we'll bring it back to a neutral spine. Let's go ahead and send that right leg straight back out, flexing that foot, pointing those toes down towards the ground. We're going to curl that knee to the nose. Inhale, press that leg back. Exhale, curl it in. Inhale, reach it out. Last time, curl that knee in. Really crunch it in. Use that core. Press it back out. Now we'll swing that leg over to that right side. Again, moving through those cat-cow. So on that inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest, lift the tailbone as we look up. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, round. Last time, inhale, lift, and round. Bring it back to neutral spine. Let's press those hips back. Inhale it back up. Exhale, press it back. Inhale it back up. Last time, exhale, press it back. Now hold it here. We want that nice flat back. You may not be able to sit the hips all the way back to the heels. That's okay. Maybe you might be up here. You just want to feel that nice big stretch through the inner thigh, maybe even into that hamstring. And then inhale, bring it back up, send that leg back, and then just bring that foot over to the other side of your mat. So we're crossing that leg over. Now from here, plant that right hand, twisting. Left arm is gonna reach up. Find that balance, core tight, threading that left arm under that armpit. Then inhale, send it up. Exhale, thread it through. Inhale, reach it back up. Exhale, send that arm through. Inhale, bring it back up and lower that hand down. Send that leg back. Okay, now left arm is gonna reach forward. Curl it in, crunch. Inhale it back out. Exhale, curl it in. Inhale, reach it out. And curl. Inhale, reach, lower that hand, lower that knee down. To the other side, we're gonna send that left leg straight back. Exhale, curl it in. Inhale, reach it out. Exhale, curl. Inhale, reach. Exhale, curl. I'm gonna flip around the room. And then we'll send that leg out, sweeping that leg over to this side, off the mat. And then again, move through those cat-cows. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest, lift the tailbone, look up. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, round. And inhale, lift, last one. Exhale, round. And then we'll bring it back to neutral. We're gonna send those hips back. Inhale it back up. Exhale, press it back. Inhale it back up. Good, exhale, press those hips back and hold. Good, then inhale, let's bring it back up, sending that leg back and then across the mat. So we're gonna plant that left hand, twisting right arm reaches up, threading that arm under. Inhale it back up. Exhale, thread it through. Inhale, reach it up. Thread it through. Send that arm up. Then lower that hand down as we send that left leg straight back. Right arm reaches forward. Curl that knee to the nose, or curl that elbow to the knee. Inhale, reach it out. Exhale, curl it in. Inhale, reach. Exhale, curl. Inhale, reach it out. And lower that hand down. Lower that knee down. And let's take a sec. Bring the knees a little bit wider. Toes together, sending those hips back to the heels as we just rest that head down into that child's pose. And then come back up onto hands and knees. Go and step it back to our plank. And then we'll send those hips up to the sky, downward facing dog. Just take a minute, pedal those feet out, sway those hips. Just get the hamstrings, calves, ankles stretched out, loosened up. And then we'll come onto those toes. Bend those knees. Let's step those feet to the top of the mat. Inhale, let's find that half lift. And exhale, fold. Bend into those knees. Come all the way up to standing. So you're gonna send, I'll mirror you guys, your right leg behind your left. You're gonna reach for that right wrist. And we'll just find that side stretch. Inhale, bring it back up. So we'll switch sides. So send that left leg behind the right, reaching for that left wrist, and then find that side bend. But inhale, we'll bring it back up, uncross, release the wrist, and fold. Inhale, find that half lift. And exhale, plant those hands down. Let's step those feet back to our plank. Shift that weight forward as we lower. Inhale, lift. And then exhale, we'll send those hips up, downward facing dog. And pause it there for a couple breaths. Again, if you need to pedal out those feet, you can. And again, now inhale, come onto the toes. Bend those knees, step or hop those feet, top of the mat. Inhale, the half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, we'll rise. Reaching those arms up, grab onto that left wrist, send that left leg behind as we find that side stretch. Inhale, bring it back up. We'll go to the other side. We'll grab onto the right wrist, right ankle comes behind. And inhale, reach it back up. Release the hands as we fold. Find that flat back. Step or plant the hands. Step or hop those feet back. Lower down. Inhale, lift. Moving through that vinyasa, and then just send those hips up to the sky. Downward facing dog. Okay, let's move through that one more time. So you can come onto the toes. Step or float those feet top of the mat. Half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, we'll rise. Grab that left wrist. Left leg behind, side bend. Inhale, bring it back up to the other side. Inhale, reach it back up. Uncross the legs as we fold. Find that half lift and plant those hands. Step, or you can lightly hop those feet back, coming right into that push-up. Inhale, lift, and exhale, hips to the sky. Downward facing dog. Okay, now inhale on the toes. Bend those knees. We're going to step those feet out a little bit wider. We're going to come into that squat. So turning those toes out, heels in as we sink those hips down into that squat. So if you need to be a little bit higher in that squat, that's okay. Those hips are feeling pretty good. You can sink the hips down with the back flat. That's great too, okay? We really want to grip with those toes, pulling those feet out to draw those knees out. So really active through our glutes. Good, breathe it here. And now you can plant those hands, just do a regular step back to our vinyasa, or if you want to play around with it, we can go into that crow. So bringing those knees up to the armpits, spread those fingers out, shifting that weight forward. So you want the elbows right over those wrists, flatten out that back, and then maybe you float those feet up, and then we can maybe step the feet back into a plank. So it's a little bit more challenging option, but if it's something you want to play around with, you can. And then we'll go right to that vinyasa, that up dog, and then exhale the hips back, downward facing dog. So again, that's not something you have to do. You can just stay in that squat, step it back to a plank, and then move through your vinyasa that way. Feet together, inhale, that right leg is gonna lift. Exhale, curl that knee to the nose. Now, when you do that, hug that knee up high or to the chest. We're getting a little bit lighter on the left toes. Inhale, send that leg up. Exhale, curl it in. Inhale, reach it up. And exhale, curl it in. Lightly, lightly, lightly step that foot through. And we'll keep that back heel lifted. Inhale, reaching those arms up into that lunge. So that core is tight. We're reaching the arms up. We're sinking those hips down a little bit deeper. Now from here, we're going to twist. Left arm reaches forward. Right arm reaches back. So making a T with those arms. And then we'll reverse it. So flipping that left hand up as that right hand slides down that back hamstring, gazing towards that back heel. Sink a little deeper. Now reach both arms up. We're going to spin that back heel down, tee out those arms as we come into that warrior two. So again, the arms are staying in that T position, just opening up to the other direction. Tailbone and rib cage is pulling down. Bend into that knee. We want that knee to be pressing out in line with kind of that second and third toe. Get really strong through those feet, gripping the toes, the balls of the feet, the heels, and then pulling towards the midline, lifting through those arches. Now we're going to lower that left, not your left, you're going to lower your right forearm down as we sweep that left arm up overhead into that extended side angle. You want to lower that hand down inside that ankle, you have that option. Inhale, rise back up, straighten that front leg as we reverse it. And then we'll circle those hands all the way down to the mat. Send it back to our three-legged plank as we lower. Inhale, lift. And exhale, hips to the sky, downward facing dog. To the other side, walk those feet a little closer together. We're going to inhale that left leg up. Exhale, curl that knee to the nose. Inhale, send it back up. Exhale, curl it in. Inhale, reach it up. And exhale, curl it in. Step that foot through. Again, that back heel stays lifted as we inhale those arms up. Core is tight, bend a little deeper into that front knee. Now we're going to twist. Right hand's going to reach forward. Left arm reaches back. Sink a little deeper. Now we'll reverse it. Right hand reaches up. Left hand is reaching for that hamstring. Now reach both arms up. Back heel is gonna spin down as we tee out those arms into that warrior two. Now we want that left heel to be in line with that right arch. Core is tight. Sink deep into that front knee. Now we'll lower that left forearm down as we sweep that right arm up over our head into that extended side angle. You can lower that hand down to the foot. That's an option as well. Inhale. We're going to rise back up. Straighten that front leg as we reverse our triangle. And then circle those arms all the way down towards the mat. Step it back to our three-legged plank. Lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale the hips to the sky, down dog. Good, now inhale on the toes. Bend those knees, step or hop those feet right outside the hands, turning those toes out, heels in, sink those hips down into that squat. Good, holding that squat. Try not to collapse into the bottom of this. We have a little tension here, so the knees are really driving out, back is flat. We're lifting the heels up like an inch higher than probably our lowest position. Now you have that option of that crow pose, or just from here, just go ahead and step it right back to plank. But again, I'm gonna go through that crow pose, show you guys that option again. So again, elbows to the knees, to the triceps. Really pull that head forward, flatten out that back, shifting that weight forward, lifting, floating those feet up. And then again, option to hop the feet back as we lower down. Inhale, lift, and exhale those hips to the sky, down dog. Again, bring the feet together. Inhale, that right leg lifts. Exhale, curl that knee to the nose. Inhale, send it up. Exhale, curl it in. Inhale, reach it up. And exhale, curl it in. Stepping that foot through. Reaching those arms up overhead, and then we'll twist. Left arm reaches forward, right arm reaches back. Sink into that front knee a little more. Now we'll flip it. Left arm reaches up, right hand reaches down. Just gaze over that shoulder. Good, then reaching those arms up. Back heel spins down. We're gonna tee out those arms into that warrior two. Lower that forearm down as we sweep that left arm up over our head. Good, inhale, rise back up, straighten that front leg. Again, reverse, so reaching that right arm up and back. And we'll come back to that extended side angle. So rebend into that front knee, lower that forearm or that hand down to inside the foot, reaching that left arm over the head. Inhale it back up, reverse it, straighten that front leg, give it a little break. Again, coming into that extended side angle. Now from here, I'll face you guys. From here, we're gonna circle that left hand down. We're gonna walk it to that long edge of the mat, turning the right toes out. Or I guess it would be your left toes out for that side lunge. Bring it to center. We're gonna go over to the right side. Good, and center, over to the other side. And center, and switch. And center, and switch. One more time, over to the front of the mat. Bring it back to center, turn those toes in, heels out as we fold. Now if that tripod headstand from this posture is in your practice, go ahead and play around with that if you'd like. But then we'll lengthen out. Let's walk those hands back to the front of the mat. So all 10 toes are pointing towards that front, towards the front of the mat. Now from here, we're gonna plant that left hand down. We're gonna twist, right arm reaches up. Now from here, we're gonna heel toe walk that right foot back, dropping those heels over to that left side. Okay, now we're gonna reach that right arm up over our head, hips are lifted high. And as we reach our right hand back to our right, or to our left heel, we're gonna let those hips just hover. Then inhale, lift, reach it back up. Lower down, reach it back up. Lower it down. Good, reach it up. Then we can bring that hand straight up and then step it back into that side plank. Lower the hand down, front plank, and vinyasa. Exhaling those hips to the sky. Downward facing dog. And again, inhaling, that left leg lifts. Exhale, curl that knee to the nose. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, curl it in. Inhale, reach it up. And exhale, curl it in. Stepping that foot through. Inhale, we're gonna rise up. Reaching those arms up overhead. So in that lunge, back heel is lifted. Then we twist. Right hand reaches forward. Left arm reaches back. And reverse it. So right arm up. Left hand slides down. Reach both arms up as that back heel spins down into our warrior two. Okay, we'll lower that forearm down as we sweep that right arm up over our head. Inhale, bring it back up as we reverse it. Good, reach the out arms, bend into that front knee. Extended side angle. Inhale it back up, reverse. And now we'll come back to that extended side angle. We're gonna circle that arm around, walking towards that long edge of the mat. Bring those toes out. Let's lunge it into that side lunge, into that right knee. So again, that back stays flat. That whole foot is down, including that heel. Bring it to center. We'll come over to that left side. Let's go center. Ooh, over to the right. Center to the left. One more time, each way. Over to the right. Center to the left. And center. Turn those feet parallel to each other. Find that flat back on that inhale. And exhale, fold. And now inhale, re-lengthen out, walking those hands back to the front of the mat. Planting that right hand as we twist. Left arm is going to reach up. Now start to adjust those feet. So heel toe walk, that left foot back a little bit more. So we're going to hit a modified side plank. That right arm is going to, or left arm is reaching up overhead. The hips are lifted high. Now we're going to lower those hips down as we reach that hand back to our right foot. Inhale, send it up. And hover the hips lower. Inhale it back up. Last time, hover it down. Inhale, reach it back up. Now, left arm reaches up towards the ceiling as we send that leg back to our side plank. Hold for another breath. And then we'll lower both hands down, moving into that vinyasa. And let's meet it in a child's pose. We can just send those hips right back to the heels, resting that head down to the mat. And breathe. Just relax here. Good. Now we're going to come up. We're going to play around a little bit here. So I'm not going to lie, it's been a minute since I've done this. So I'm going to use a wall. So what you can do is slide your mat right up against your wall. But what the arms are going to look like, because we're going to work on a variation of a headstand. Okay, so you're going to make this position with your arms, and you're going to bring it to your head. Okay, so I try to get my forearms a little bit higher than my head, so it's not the whole weight of my head on the mat. Okay, so basically what it's going to look like, you'll interlace your fingers. Okay, I squeeze my forearms to my head. Okay, then I lift my hips up into this kind of down dog position. Now from here, okay, if you just want to lift one leg up and kind of practice this, so just kind of getting a little bit of weight to the arms, a little bit of weight into the head, you have that option, or just work on walking those feet a little bit closer. Okay, but if you are feeling a little more adventurous today, here, you'll just come to the wall, same idea, this position like that, bring your head down, and then you'll just kick one leg up, here we go, whoop, and then just finding that wall. So once you have it, squeeze those legs together, core is tight, so I'm squeezing my legs together, my quads are strong, my glutes are engaged, my abs are tight, so I'm kind of just use the wall to get up there.
Now from here, I'm pressing into my forearms to take the weight off of my head, okay? So maybe you kind of kick up a couple times, maybe you feel like you can hold it. Just kind of whatever you want to do. And it's just an option. Whew. So play around with it. A couple more breaths, more minutes. If you're over it, want to go into a child's pose, that is fine too. Good. So once you're done, let's do a little shoulder stretch here. So reach the arms up, draw those elbows down, let's interlace those fingers just behind the back. Big opening through that chest. And let's stretch out that neck a little bit. So relax the arms. Fingers stay interlaced. Whew. And then we're gonna, so if the hands are over towards your right side, you're gonna drop your right ear to your right shoulder. Good, bring it back up. Let's go to the other side. Dropping that left ear towards that left shoulder. And then bring that head back up. Let's go ahead and release those arms or hands to your knees. Pull those shoulders down and back. So we want the heads of the shoulders to almost be rotating, almost pointing back. And then from here, we're just gonna make shoulder rolls. So draw the right ear towards the right shoulder. We'll bring that chin to the chest. We'll bring it over to the other side. Just going back and forth. If you want to make that full circle, if that feels all right on your neck, go for it. And then let's lower those hands to the mat. Send those hips up to the sky. We'll go into that downward facing dog. And now we're going to bring that right knee towards that right wrist. Foot is going to come across the mat towards that left hand. And then we're going to slide that left leg back. So just pointing the left toes straight back, keeping that leg in the frame of the body. And noticing if the hips, if you're kind of leaning off to the side, send the weight back towards the middle of the mat and think an internal spiral with that left knee. So I don't want you over rotating. I just want you to think that if you had a line going right down the top or like the middle of the kneecap, like a, oh my, vertical line, there we go, going right down the middle of the kneecap, that line is what is on the mat. Then from there, go ahead and lower that head down. Take that big breath in through the nose. And exhale it out through the nose. Trying to maybe release any tension that you might be holding in those hips. A lot of times we hold our stress in our hips. So trying to release that tension. Now come up onto your hands. Now we are going to sit off to that right hip. Now this leg, your back leg, is going to swing around. Let's see, what's the best way for you guys to see this? So your left leg, that's better, is kind of in a straight, your hip is extended, so it's in a straight line. Both my knees are bent in a 90-degree angle. Okay, I'm going to walk my hands around. Okay, so we're going to start to get a big twist. If this is all the farther you can go, that's fine. Okay, maybe you
Lower those elbows. There we go. You lower both elbows down towards the ground. Now, once your elbow's there, think about that kind of that Sphinx pose. Lifting that chest forward and up. You'll feel a pretty big stretch through your left oblique. That's going to be right here. I feel this a little bit in the upper back, that T-spine as well, since it is a twist. And then let's make your way out of it. Ooh. And then from here, we can make this easy. Just bring that left shin across. We'll slide that right leg back. We go right into that pigeon. So make sure we, again, internal rotation through this right leg. So it's just that top, very top of my kneecap is on the mat, the middle of that thigh, middle of that kneecap. Okay. I'm shifting that weight a little bit more towards the middle of the mat. Big breath. And then exhale. We can just soften that head down. Relaxing into this posture. Just letting that hip release and relax. And then come back onto those hands. Again, sit off to that hip. And now slide that right leg around. So again, we want that hip extended. And then we're just going to twist it around. So we're trying to bring that right forearm down towards the mat. Okay. So both the elbows are down. Okay. So it's not quite there. That's okay. Now we're going to pull that chest forward and up just slightly. So that big stretch through that right side. Couple more breaths. And then we'll slowly unwind it. Just go ahead and make your way onto your backs. And let's plant those feet down, just bridging those hips up just one time. So those shoulder blades walk together, lifting through those hips, core is tight. So tailbone is scooping up, that belly button's pulling down towards the spine, putting that low back in more of a neutral position instead of a curve. And slowly lower those hips down. Let's hug those knees into the chest. Give it a little rock from side to side. We'll do one final twist. So just stack those knees right over the hips. I like to lift my hips up, bring them to the left side slightly, and then I drop my knees over to the right side. So hips go to the left, knees go to the right. Shoulders stay down on the ground. So that way my spine just stays right in the middle of the mat. Let's bring it back to center. So we're going to adjust. Let's bring those hips over to the right side, and then the knees will drop over to the left side. Big breath in. And soften a little more as we twist.
And then bring those knees back to get back to center. You can hug those knees in. Let's round that spine, bringing the forehead to the knees. Then we'll extend those legs out, reach those arms overhead, full body stretch. Fingertips all the way down through those toes. And exhaling those arms down by the sides, palms will face up, shoulder blades will walk together. Taking that big breath in through the nose and open the mouth and sigh it out. Releasing any stress you might still be holding on to. Just letting yourself completely relax for this next couple minutes. Just begin to deepen your breath. Begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Reaching those arms overhead, full body stretch for the fingertips all the way down through those toes. And then draw those knees into the chest. Just go ahead and roll it on over to your side. Just resting here for a breath or two. And let's press yourselves up into that comfortable seat. Sitting up tall, hands on the knees, keeping the eyes closed, just pausing it for a few final breaths. And just letting yourself be in this space, just focusing on that breath. Leaking those eyes open. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Have a great evening. Hopefully, I will see you guys back here tomorrow, 7 a.m. We just have a all levels class just to get you kind of up and moving and ready for your day. All right. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.